Study session today. We have a Mesa Housing Services Board meeting, so we'd like to welcome you to that meeting. All board members are present. The first item on our agenda is items from citizens present. Are there any blue cards from citizens, Ms. Mickelson?
No requests.
Okay, thank you. Item 2 then is to acknowledge board minutes. Is there a motion to that effect? Thank you, Mr. Loon and Mr. Thompson. All in favor, please say aye. 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 Thank you. Are there any opposed? Thank you. That passes unanimously. Item 3 on our agenda is a presentation on the American Rescue Plan funding of emergency homeless vouchers allocated by HUD. Welcome, Mary and Rosario. Welcome.
Good morning, Chair and board members. We are here today to review a new allocation that we have received from HUD for emergency homeless housing vouchers. We're going to review them, and then we're going to ask for your support on accepting these vouchers. So we're going to start, and I'm going to let Rosario start with this to let you know about these vouchers.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair and board members. The Mesa Housing Authority has received 108 emergency housing vouchers. The way the number was allocated was based on a formula based on the 2020 point-in-time count, showing the areas of the greatest need, and the Housing Authority capacity and the leasing history. The vouchers are effective July 1st, 2021, and they will be funded through September of 2030. Our initial funding is for $982,416, and this voucher program is different. It's very specific as to who is eligible. We have been attending seminars to learn more about the regulations and the guidance provided by HUD. And there are more webinars coming up that they're going to help us prepare, implement, and house individuals and families. Jurisdictions have received a lot of emergency funding to prevent evictions, and these vouchers will be to assist more on the longer term for permanent housing assistance. The targeted population for these vouchers are for individuals and families that are homeless, at risk of homelessness, fleeing or attempting to flee domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, stalking, human trafficking, or recently homeless.
Thank you, Rosario. As Rosario mentioned, we're receiving guidance and we're attending webinars. We had a meeting last week with our regional other housing authorities throughout the region here in Maricopa County to talk about how we want to administer these vouchers, how we'll get the referrals, to have to have an MOU with the continuum of care that is common for each of our housing authorities. We want our processes to be common. We want to be able to have that throughout the region. We have a lot to plan. We have a lot to implement on these vouchers. Again, as she said, they're different than we've ever done. We have a lot to do. We will receive direct referrals from the continuum of care, coordinated entry, or homeless or victim service providers. We're required by HUD to enter into an MOU with the continuum of care and these service providers. With these vouchers, the admin fees, there's many variables. As you saw in the award letter that we attached to our information that you had, that the admin fees, there's 4 different variables. But the initial program planning and implementation costs will be paid. Administration of the program. Housing search assistance is an eligible activity to help with these vouchers. Essential household items to get them settled into their home. Move-in costs, security deposit, utility arrears so they can get the utilities in their name, and additional move-in fees. Yesterday, staff had a resident advisory board meeting to review the same vouchers that we've reviewed with you today. They are in support of these vouchers. They would like us to accept these vouchers. So we're here today to ask, we need to respond to HUD by Monday, and there's 4 ways that we can respond to HUD. We can decline all the allocation of the vouchers. We can accept a portion of the vouchers. We can accept the 108 vouchers, and we can also accept the 108 vouchers and be willing to accept any vouchers that may be addition that maybe other areas did not accept. We're recommending to accept all 108 and additional if they're available.
Thank you. Mr. Luna?
Thank you, Mary and Rosario. So you have capacity to accept the 108 plus the additional vouchers.
Yes, we do. On our budget presentation, we
Yes.
had asked for an additional staffing
Yeah.
for this next fiscal year for another housing specialist, and this would fall in there.
Well, I would be supportive of accepting the vouchers, 108 plus the additional ones as well.
Did you finish your presentation, Mary? I just want to, I know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have questions here, but I was initially thinking, oh, well, this will allow us to take people off of our waiting lists, but no, this is a different population that's being targeted with these vouchers, correct? That if it's coming from the continuum of care list, does that mean these are folks that have already been identified as being homeless? And, or is that what's the population that this is targeted for?
Yes, we will get the referrals directly from our providers. Other providers can send them to the continuum of care to do the assessment there. So the population is homeless, at risk of homeless, or fleeing, or previously homeless. That might be rapid rehousing, that we have taken someone off the street and we've used the rapid rehousing funding, rehoused them, but maybe they're not stable. Maybe after the 3 months of assistance, they still cannot afford that rent and they're at risk of being homeless again. Maybe that's where these vouchers could assist those individuals and families, that we can pay a portion of their rent.
You know, we had a great presentation a couple of months ago from Natalie about our homeless strategic plan, and I think she very honestly said, this is a great plan, but some of these elements in this plan currently don't exist. We don't have, you know, we can't go from step 3 to step 4 because we don't have any step 4 housing in our community. Does this address that? For example, I see this as the off the streets program folks, we get them in the motel and we say, now we have a place to send them. Am I seeing things roughly accurately?
Yes, I believe so. So there's 2 things I think with that. If they have been housed in the hotel for a while and they are stable enough to be in independent housing, yes, this would be the voucher for them. If they need the permanent supportive housing, we have those programs, and then they could graduate, into these vouchers, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, another question. The challenge with vouchers has always been that in this housing market where landlords can charge high market rents, how successful are we going to be at finding landlords that will accept these vouchers?
Yes, Chair. We are going to be bringing the person that is going to be assisting with these vouchers, a new position, will be dedicated as well to go out and talk to the landlords, educate them on the program more about the benefits of being on the program. And we believe that that's going to help. The housing market rents are high, but the funding for these vouchers is also a little bit higher than what they have provided in the past.
Okay, so this is clearly market rate rent, and maybe a few dollars more to offer an incentive to landlords. Is that fair?
Yes. Okay. And just to add also, this is going to be very similar to the VASH program where the VA is referring the applications to us. So it will be the continuum of care referring the applications to the Housing Authority, and we will be doing the eligibility part for the landlords and for the participants, the clients as well.
So does a landlord need to go through a qualification process similar to being a Section 8 recipient?
Yeah, they do. One thing, just to be clear, the landlords, once a tenant has found a unit to lease, the landlord then sends us their information. We verify their information as a landlord.
Okay. Great.
Mayor?
Yes.
We have another presentation as part of the council study session that we're going to get in more detail about providing incentives
Okay.
for landlords also to encourage them to participate. So we'll get to that in the council study session.
Got it. All right, well, this is agendized for action, I think, to make one of the four choices that was presented to us a moment ago. Council, additional discussion or questions on this item? Mr. Freeman?
Thank you. I just wonder, how sustainable is this? How long do these monies last? And how long do they go for?
Yes, Chair and board members, the funding goes through September of 2030.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Council, any other questions? All right, ladies, thank you. We look forward to learning more about this perhaps later this morning. The next item on our agenda, excuse me, item 4, is to take action on a resolution for the grant funds from HUD under the American Rescue Plan for emergency homeless vouchers. Is there a motion to that effect? Thank you, Mr. Luna, seconded by Mr. Heredia. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. And just to clarify, that Mr. Luna, that was option 4, where we accept all 4 plus expressive willingness for future vouchers, correct? All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
That concludes the items on our agenda for this meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Mr. Luna, seconded by Mr. Thompson. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.